you'll see a different stage of a guy who is from a village, and then you go to a city, you work in a city, and go to America, to the Korea, and then Bangkok, all this traveling, exploring at the end. His roots. So that's the gist of the story of the True Love Keeps Moving. So mostly you can relate this to some of my readers. What they said about the book is mostly on it's a kind of religious book, like, because most of the things are dealing with your um, spirituality, as well as the conflicts between the world and the spirituality. So it also relates to that one. And life and death, obviously, the life and death, and at the end finding the true love. That the guy in the book, he was in relationship, and he was not in a good relationship, break up, and so he was looking for true love, that what would make him. So he finally discovered, at the end of the day, he married a woman who have already a child. So when you look at the context of our society, a guy marrying a woman who already have a child will be something out of the box. How can that be a true love? But when you look at the whole scenario, you never know who is your true love. Maybe it's your ex who break your heart, or maybe you never know, whom you never met. So it's a kind of out of the box that he married a woman who already have a child. So that's the whole story of the book. Because the book have prose and poetry as well section. So in that prose, the True Love Keeps Moving is one of the biggest story, the largest story that's been extracted. And you will also find the story Be Still. That is the story about that based on my true story. So you can, and then my 27 years in one page, that also speak mostly about my personal life. So you can relate to your personal, and some of the poems are mostly like the personified, the personalized poem. Like you will find a name of a person. I wrote the poem to some person, so personalized, because when I read the book, I don't want to be superficial, like something, all the words that I use, like I don't want to use something which I don't usually use during conversation. When you read the book, you'll find plain English, simple. And then I read this not because I'm intellectual, that I want to be a scholar. So no, it's not like that. I just wrote a book simply just because I love to tell the stories to someone. So if you are literate, if you can read and write, this is the book. You don't need to refer any dictionaries or any words. Everything is very simple. Because it's not me alone who is writing the story. It is my reader who is going along with me. So I finish this level, and I want my readers to finish, to have a conclusion by their own. Why this guy stopped writing this? Why this girl is like this? Why that guy is like this in the story? So I want to let my reader finish the story. So same thing in True Love Keeps Moving. Many of them say like, why you end the story very early? I told them, they ask me like that. But what I reply is, anything, any movies or anything, or let's say a food, like a small bite which is very tasty, that and then you want to eat more, but you cannot find it. That makes you think, like, even for years and years, that I ate something back that in hotel, but I couldn't get that one. But I still want the urge of having that one still. So the stories I put in such a way that that the author wants to know what happened, but it's you cannot find. So the reader have to find a way to find a solution, like how it ended, how it should be. Will the guy marry the girl, or will the child grow up into such stuff? The unfinished story. It is based also mostly similar with the True Love Keeps Moving. Same thing, because whenever I write any book, I base on my society where I grew up, and then how I go to cities and roam around. That's how it happened. So it also grew up in a small city and small village, and grew up in city and fall in love through online Facebook, and then he thought that would be his true love, but at the end he cannot. That's not the love that he's looking for. And then it also comes under the addiction level also, because once you have a unhealthy relationship, you tend to be addicted to alcohol, to be precise, alcohol, drugs. So how you overcome this on this situation, that also been dealt with that. And then comes under the sexual temptations when you are in a relationship. Those are the key points that have been addressed in the poems. And it's a fiction, but based on some of my friends' real story. So it's a small book. That was a small book. The story is you can finish in within 30 minutes. You can finish it. The poems are based on mostly I deal with sad things. The poems like depression, the suicidal thoughts. Like at the end, at this age where you have so much pressure, you need to earn money, you need to travel, you need to get married, you need this, blah blah, all these pressures. At this stage is one of the crucial stages in our life, and maybe there were times when you want to give up on your life without any second, So it's not. I wrote it not for myself, but for everyone who might be having the same issues. So, but not to give up, maybe because the world is not the end, and the sun will always rise again tomorrow. So that's the societal point, and being satisfied of what you have. So it's a mixture. I don't really have the actual content, like I'm writing about love, so it's love. No, it's mixture of everything. I took English literature and then working in the restaurant. It's totally opposite. So when you go home, people always think, why you're working in a restaurant when you took literature? You should be a teacher, or you should be working somewhere. So I just want to break the stereotype of what people think. I'm a waiter, but I can still write. Doesn't mean that you should. Doesn't mean that it should stop you from what. For example, we have Dana. We have lots of YouTubers, lots of singers who can do it. So, like your work, maybe you don't like. Maybe being working in a restaurant might not be your job, might be your aim, but you can still work on to your aim, to your goals. By working at the same time, supporting. So for me, people think that, do I really want to be a full-time writer? I said, no, I don't want to be a full-time writer, because when you do research on the writers' history, most of the writers, they were broke, they were bankrupt, they were on depression because their books were not being sold, and then all these things, issues were there. Most of the famous authors in history, their books, their works get famous after they died. So for me, no, I'm not going to go full-time, but I will keep on writing, and while working, I will support my goal. That's my plan. Essential, but that doesn't mean that they will satisfy you. But at the end, it's your God, your relationship with God will make you satisfied in life. That's the, for me, that's the satisfaction.
Yeah. Okay, so
something told me that this is all on you, no jokes. Because I know you like that. It tells me that, especially the love part.
Like I said, I'm not rich, I always say like that. Because when you read the book, like many of my readers thought that, because in the book it was not confined in certain place. It was started from my country to Bahamas, to Dubai, to London, to Bangkok, to Dubai, and then to Kuwait, to South Korea, to Bali, in Indonesia. So like in books, like I visited 8 countries in the book. So I've been to Kuwait and to Bahrain. That's all. That's the country I visit. But my mind traveled to everywhere. So even Paris, to France. So my mind takes me to a place where I haven't been there. So yes, yeah, you said that based on life experience, but I don't want to say that it's based on my life experience, because it's my mind that is creating the situation. What if it happened? So let's say 20% is my real life experience, but no, not in 10% my life experience. Because the story that I wrote, the starting point really starts from my real life experience, and from there I carry on, add more, and that's how I make lies. That's how I tell lies.
Those desires that you want, yeah, what you want out of life. I feel, I don't know, I haven't read the book, but it feels like you are
Don't be
hiding behind
suspicious,
the
you know.
book.
Because yes, the book, 2 books, I mentioned my own name because I wrote it in the first person. So the reason why I wrote it in good things or bad way, good way or bad way, because I don't want to use somebody else's name, and then one day maybe the real person, maybe I just say Marlon, maybe I don't know you, but maybe the real person, you will come and take, why you use my name?
Yeah.
Why you are using my name to do like this? You're manipulating my name. So in 2 ways. So I use my own name, and so whatever bad things come, I'll take responsibility. Whatever good things, I'm happy. That's what I do. I use the first name because I want people to be suspicious as well about the story. So when people become suspicious, it's a kind of marketing strategy as well. When people become very suspicious about your book, they want to dig what he wrote, why he's like this. So kind of a marketing strategy as well. Like when people become suspicious, they want to know you more. When people suspect you, they want you to know why, and then that gives.